Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I want to know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday. Wellness Wednesday is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to have a conversation about whatever it is we want to talk about. And tonight, we are talking about Black fatherhood, becoming Baba. We are closing out Men's Health Month. June is Men's Health Month. And we have been focused on Black men in particular, specifically, and their mental health. So this is our last day, right? Because we are on Mondays and Wednesdays. And so we are excited and delighted to have this brother that is going to be joining us tonight to talk about becoming Baba, Black fatherhood. So we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. So please tag a friend, a family member, a coworker, a brother, a father, and let them know they need to be on here because you are in for a treat this evening. You're in for a treat. Before I bring my guests on, I want to hear from you. I want to know what city, what state are you tuning in to? What city or state you're tuning in to? From rather. And so in the comments, if you will, just enter your city and state so that I can give you a shout out. This is an interactive live. So we want you to be a part of the conversation. We want you to be part of the conversation. So we want to hear from you, your comments, your questions. And this is a safe space. This is a safe space for us to communicate with one another, to exchange with one another, to learn from one another, to love on one another. So we are giving space to one another in grace and patience and again, just learning and loving. So I want to thank you, Tracy Gole in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here. And also Raymond, cousin Raymond in Newport News, Virginia. Thank you for being here. Appreciate your support and your viewership. So again, let folks know they need to log on here. They need to like, they need to share, and they need to be part of this conversation. We have really covered a lot of great ground this month. We have talked about Black men in mentorship. We've talked about Black men in healthy masculinity. We talked about Black men in incarceration, mass incarceration. So we have covered quite a few topics. And so I just am really grateful for, the viewers and the guests and, this is what Conversations with Nicole is all about. So I see you, Ozzy. Ozzy was on Monday, and we covered Black men and faith with Ozzy. So thank you, Ozzy, for that great conversation and discussion. The viewers seem to really kind of get into that. So we appreciate that. Ozzy is actually I've nicknamed Ozzy the closer because he comes on the fourth Monday or the last Monday of the month to share some nuggets. So he's talked about sleep, don't sleep on sleep. And he's also covered nutrition. We've done a part 1 and a part 2 to that. So I think he's going to have to come back and give us some more on sleep and the importance of it, as well as some more on faith. So, at any rate, I feel like I'm rambling, so let me move on. Our guest tonight goes by Dr. B. I had the great opportunity of being introduced to Dr. B virtually from Amanla Haynes, Dr. Amanla Haynes. And so they are colleagues. So Dr. B, also known as Brother Bookman, also known as Adam Baptiste, is a doctor, a MD doctor. And he is a family-oriented man, a physician, a researcher, an educator, a farmer, a gardener, amongst other roles. He aims to assist people in practical and meaningful ways, rooted in justice and equity. His interest in health is aimed at wellness and correcting disparities for the groups that experience them the greatest. And so, taking special regard to several indigenous, Aboriginal, Melanoid, rural, and underserved populations, he holds an entrepreneurial position as the chief executive of Balancing Being, a lifestyle company that offers a variety of services and products from ocular acupuncture to academic advising and apparel. He is an educator working with Health Science Consulting and the Family Agency to train and inspire the next generation of health professionals. He's affiliated with Florida State University College of Medicine, employed as a researcher and coordinator for the Center for Behavioral Health Integration within the Department of Behavioral Sciences and Social Medicine. Much of his current work there is focused through initiatives that prioritize perinatal mental health and pediatric behavioral health. And he aspires to improve and include the paternal involvement, which is part of why we're having this discussion on becoming Baba and Black fatherhood, including the paternal involvement and perspective in this work, ultimately working towards holistic mental behavioral health practices to be implemented for families. His Through his work, the Florida Maternal Mental Health Collaborative and the Florida Behavioral Health Impact Program, he and the team collaborate with the aim to promote awareness and build the capacity for healthcare providers to address the critical gaps in the care of our nation's women, children, and families. So help me welcome Dr. B. Yay. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I can't hear you. Hold on, let's see. We have some. No, 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 no. No, I don't hear you. Let's try. Are you shucks, I wonder what happened. All right. Dr. B, pop off and pop back on. Let's see if we can try it again. All right. All right. Okay, so having a little technical difficulty, but that's okay. He's gonna come right back. While he's doing that, let me say hey to my godmom Corliss in Miami. Thank you for being here, and Miss Gloria Dennis, my one of my Rattler classmates. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you so much. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So while we're waiting on Dr. B, one of the things that I do want to mention here in Tallahassee, we have started these community healing circles. And so those are taking place at Walker Ford Community Center on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. till 8 p.m. And this is really just an opportunity for the community to come together and have conversation around just a wide variety of topics. We started them last Thursday. They'll be every Thursday from again 6:30 to 8. We had some refreshments thanks to Mr. Wash Anderson over at the Urban League. But we had about 18 people last week, 18 to 20 people last week, adults and youth. We all were in one big circle initially, but we do plan to separate out the youth and adults for future sessions. So I definitely just want to invite the Tallahassee community to those community healing circles. Again, it's just an opportunity for us to come together and to share, to talk, to give space and room for one another, and to just express ourselves. Express ourselves. All right. I see you, Jamil. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much, and congratulations again on your wonderful news. And Janita, have missed you. She said, listening in my car. She's here in Tallahassee as well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you as well. All right. So Dr. B, I think, is back with us. So let's see. Test, test, test.
Can you all hear me?
All right, there we go. All right,
Just a
here we
moment. Can you
go.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You
Yes,
can?
I can. I can. It's a little staticky, but I can hear you.
I'm not hearing you. Hold on a second.
Can you hear me?
Let me go ahead and do it regular school.
Okay, he's gonna try some headphones. Let's see. How's that? Can you hear me, Dr. B? Can you hear me? Yes, no?
Yes, I can. My check, my
Okay.
check.
Okay, good deal. All right,
All
so
right,
welcome,
welcome
welcome,
everyone.
welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So tell the people, who is Dr. B? Okay, you're muted. Okay, there we go. Tell them, who are you? Not what you do, but
Who,
who are you?
who am I? Well, I want to welcome you all and I want to thank you all. And I'll start by saying that I am that I am. I affirm and confirm that I am that I am. I'm indigenous, I'm aboriginal, and I am melanated. I'm born given the name Adam Baptiste, and I'm consciously realized and self-recognized as Atum, Alam, Ashir, Adam, Bukman. I'm the fruit-bearing seed of powerful and infinite ancestral trees whose roots have fed, supplied, and nourished me with the miracle and opportunity of life. I accept the opportunity of living, and I accept the responsibility that I respond with my full ability to be a man and claim my manhood. I have the divine authority to heal myself, and I do so each day, emanating an aura of truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, harmony, order, and balance. Ma'at, Tuanecher, Ma'at. We give thanks to the Most High. I am that I am. That is who I am.
All righty. Thank you so much, Dr. B. I appreciate it. So tell us how you got on this, kind of how you got involved on this behavioral health journey in
Hmm.
terms of perinatal care and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So love and respect, especially to the family, because I am an extension of the family. I'm an extension of my mother and my father, of my
Mm-hmm.
brothers and my sisters, and I'm thankful to be the son of Nancy and Steve Godfrey Baptiste, who shared life with me, uh, nurtured me in my journey, and helped me to understand that being a servant leader is one of the highest regards and one of the highest services that we can perform as human beings. And
Mm-hmm.
in my journey of learning about the human experience and learning about life, I chose to gravitate towards health sciences and medicine. And I became interested in the way that we perceive ourselves and the way that we heal ourselves. And currently, the work that I'm doing now is in perinatal mental health, which is around the birthing period, right? We're talking about when a new child is coming into the fold, and there's a mother who's pregnant, and there is a family that's expecting. We're dealing with a very delicate period, and it is in this space that I focus because the family is the core of everything that we do. When we want to imagine ourselves as strong people, or when we want to see ourselves as a strong nation, we must first look to our families. It is at home where everything starts. It is in the family unit where you find your greatest strength. And so I gravitate towards this area because I feel this is the space, especially for us as indigenous, aboriginal, melanoid, black people, we can have our greatest effect if we focus on our families.
Okay. Very good. So I definitely think, you know, you're right. The family is the origin, right? They're the genesis for all human life in terms
Okay.
of, you know, woman and man and children, right? And so
Indeed.
we our birth through our mother and our mothers and our fathers, they teach us everything that we should learn or you know, at least starting out as perinatal. So let me just quickly make an adjustment, right? The sound is not quite the best. So let's
Okay.
try it without either, let's try turning up the volume a little bit if you can, or let's try it without the headphones. So let's try turning up the volume and see, you know, so let's just kind of talk in general and see how that sounds.
All right. Mic check.
Okay, that's better. Better,
How's
better,
this?
better. Okay, cool. All right, so our topic tonight is becoming Baba. Becoming Baba. I had the great opportunity of being part of the perinatal um, mental health conference in December, I think it was, virtually. So I got to see a little bit of a presentation that you did at that conference. And so I believe Becoming Baba was part of that title, if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm getting at is for those of you who do not know, or for those of us who might not know what Baba means, can you shed some light on the term, the name Baba?
Absolutely. I'm thrilled that you were able to attend that conference. I organized, helped organize along with my team, Florida's only perinatal maternal mental health conference, and paternal mental health is what we're doing our best to incorporate and include. And when we're talking about Babas, the presentation was balancing becoming Baba. Baba is a cultural term that we use to identify the traditionally recognized father, the father who has accepted the role of being a father. Uh, we are talking about the menfolk in our community, the one who guides and protects us, the one who guides and protects us on our journey in life, the one who uh, teaches us to question everything, to question ourselves, to ask, to teaches us to ask, who are you and why are you here? And in our journey of becoming who we are, and in the process of them guiding and protecting us, they help us to help ourselves until we're able to do so for ourselves. A Baba is a term that we use to identify that father who accepts responsibility and accountability for being a man in the community, for being a father that is responsible for the happenings in the community, the protector, the provider, but not just those uh, most frequent archetypes that we have of a father, but the one who's also the nurturer, the one who is also the one who diffuses a fight, the one who is clear about who he is. And that's what a Baba is. A Baba is a man who knows who he is, who knows who his family is, protects them, provides for them, loves them, and nurtures them to the best of his
Okay, all right. So we are still having a little bit of a volume problem. So let's, I'm trying to think of what else we can do to adjust because I am all the way up. Um, let's try, y'all just bear with us just one moment. All right, let's try, can you try putting something underneath your laptop? Like a, um, something just to lift it up a little bit. Yeah. And maybe bringing it a little closer to you, that might help out some. Because we got my mom on here and she says his volume is low. So we're trying to help Mama here. All right, and now I can't hear you at all. Now I don't know what happened. Okay. Uh, yeah, the mute. Okay, so pop off and pop back on. Okay. All right. All right. So Dr. B is going to try to get this volume together. Boy, I tell you, this technology can be something else. It can be something else, but it's okay. Deborah says she can't hear it all. Okay, thank you for being on here, Miss Deborah Lloyd. Appreciate you. So while we waiting for Dr. B to come back on, fatherhood. What I want to hear from you all. Fatherhood. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you, fatherhood? And what are some of the components and characteristics of a father? What are some of the components and characteristics of a father? All right, Janita's asking, where is the healing circle? It's at Walker Ford Community Center, 2301 Pasco Street. 2301 Pasco Street. All right. Let's see. Dr. B, I think may be back with us, so let me see if we can get him. All right, Dr. B. Let's see. You're muted, so let's see if you can unmute.
Mic check.
Okay, there we go.
Is that better?
Yes. All right.
Yeah, I've got another device I can switch to if we continue to have problems.
Okay, no, that is much better. Much better, much better. All right. So I was asking folks to chime in the comments about fatherhood and what fatherhood meant to them. So I haven't, no one's responded yet on that
Oh,
question.
come on, family. We want to hear from you. That's what we hear, and what we're all about is what do we want in our community, right? What does a father mean to you? What are the things that we need so that we can encourage our menfolk to be that and exist in the form that is most needed?
All right. So if you all will in the comments, let us know. Let us know. Okay. Shanita said leadership. All right.
Ashe.
Mm-hmm. All right. Y'all don't, everybody don't speak at once. Let us know. Leadership. Yes, absolutely. I think they moving a little slow tonight. All right. I see Warren Cave in here. Warren, let us know. What should a father look like? What do you want him to look like? What are the expectations? All right, Janita also said good communication.
Oh yes, this is a big one right here.
All right, Deborah said provider, emotional supporter, involved in the community, spiritual.
Indeed.
Okay. All good. Yes, thank you.
High quality principles. I know that all of us, when we have mothers and fathers that are rooted in spirit, that are uh, emotionally stable, that are clear about who they are, and they communicate that to us with efficiency and love, it is one of the greatest gifts that we can have whenever we have mothers and fathers like that. And I want to make a distinction for everyone to understand. You have a role as somebody who is in the community to be a mother and a father. Adults who choose to be held accountable, to be an example as a mother and as a father, we need you to step up, and we need you to be exemplary in everything that you do so that our children can continue to have leadership and understand that they can project on somebody who's of a high caliber and high quality and character.
Yes. So Susan said mentor, provider, protector. Warren said priest, provider, and protector.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Different situations call for fatherhood to be different in different homes, but being a priest, protector, and provider is the key.
Yes. Speak, Bob Warren.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. Good deal. Well, as others chime in, we'll definitely share their comments. But why, you know, why are our why do we see a disconnect? You believe in our society with fathers? One of the we June is Men's Health Month. June is when Father's Day is celebrated in America. And a lot of fathers feel like, you know, they just don't get their due, right? Mothers get all of the accolades and, the red carpet treatment or what have you. But fathers, not so much, right? So what's the disconnect there? You think?
What's up with that?
What's up with that?
I
Yeah.
think a lot of it has to do with the culture, right? We as indigenous Aboriginal people, Black people, we've tended to gravitate away from our culture, and our culture is rooted in the principles of recognizing the divine masculine and the divine feminine in each and every one of us, and most especially in honoring thy parents, right? Respecting and honoring the mother and the father from which you come from. And so if we are not in our cultural format and in our cultural mode of loving ourselves, especially through the form of our mother and our father, we will disrespect either one of them. And so fathers tend to get the short end of the stick, uh, namely because, especially here in America, we experience a lack of fatherhood, and the father experience. There's quite a bit of fatherlessness that people in the community have to deal with, but that does not mean that we are left without. So I salute the men who have responded to the call of being a father in the circles that they are in. Uh, we are sending the troops, and that's what I'm about. That's what Balance and Being about. That's what the programs and the brotherhood circles that I'm affiliated with. What we're all about is activating that young man, that old man, that the man who is timeless in age, the man who is within you, brother, to be a father, to be a man who accepts responsibility, to be a man who accepts accountability and responds to the call that we need. We need our fathers to step up more. And we're experiencing a lack of celebration of fatherhood because we don't really see how valuable it is for our fathers to be a part of our life and a part of our experience, because we've kind of diminished it and put too much focus on things outside of ourselves. But Father is a direct reflection of ourself. You're on mute.
Thank you. I absolutely agree that fathers are a direct reflection of ourselves, and but when fathers may be absent, physically or emotionally unavailable, I think that can cause us to, you know, discard them and maybe um, feel like, it's okay, normalize the absence of um, fathers and that the male energy. And so I, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I do think that that is a major contributing factor. I have a girlfriend who um, did not grow up with her father, and none of her friends grew up with their fathers either. And so they normalized, not, they thought that was normal. That's what I mean when I say
Mm-hmm.
they thought that was normal because
Mm-hmm.
none of them had fathers in their household. And so she is married now with children, and she talks about sometimes being jealous of the relationship that her children have with their father because she did not experience that. And she
Mm.
wished that she had that in her life. Right?
That's a powerful testimony right there, because
Hmm.
we've got quite a bit of people in our community that have had to endure that experience for circumstances that aren't just about. Shout out to mom in the room here. You see that? That's the mother shining through. Yes, we love that. Um, what we're saying is that people who have had to endure the experience of not having a father or their father
Mhm.
be present with them is it's tragic and it's traumatic and it should be unacceptable to us. We have got to, again, as a community, respond to that need because fathers can come in multiple forms. We don't have to, even though we would love for it to be our biological father who's present, the reality is that throughout your lifetime, you're going to have multiple mothers and multiple fathers, those who stepped up to the call and the need that you had as a human being to be nurtured, to be educated, to be loved on and supported. And I humbly shout out all of my mothers. You know who you are in spirit. I humbly shout out all of my fathers. You know who you are in spirit, whether you're here with us now, whether you've transitioned. I thank you for taking the time to share with me life, to give me the knowledge, the wisdom that you've acquired, the experiences to be somebody whom I could love and feel safe with. That's a very key aspect when we're talking about fathers and the men folk in our community. They have got to create safe spaces, spaces where the family feels safe. The family doesn't feel afraid of anything. When the men folk are not stable emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually, it leads to a very erratic behavior that we see carried throughout the entire family.
Absolutely. Man, you really said some really key things in just a short amount of time.
A shame. It takes
One
a village.
thing, yeah, one thing that you said, which Ozzy mentions, is about the responsibility and accountability and living up to the standards of being authentic and being that man.
Yes.
I think that is the very foundation, is that you acknowledging this very important responsibility, this very important role, this very important task, job, of being father. Like that's the base.
Correct. Correct. I think that and that's really is this is the crux of it. When we look at manhood is going to differ depending on the culture, that the cultural lens in which you're looking through it. But what is almost always consistent for men is that they are authentic in who they are. They are confident in who they are. That is what is almost universal in definition when you're talking about what a man is. And when we look at what we need as a people, we need men whom are true to themselves, whom are clear about what the responsibilities are. We have to prepare. This is about becoming a Baba. We have to prepare our men from the day they are born, not even the day they are born, before they are born. So it's like myself. I am preparing myself to teach my children who they are to become. You are to select motherhood and fatherhood as an attractive choice because I'm going to make sure that it is one for you. Many people don't choose motherhood or fatherhood because, one, they've been forced into it too early because of promiscuity, because of lack of truly understanding and comprehending what the magnitude of parenthood brings. But it is a journey that each one of us, if we endeavor to take, are connected to throughout generations, right? It's not something that starts and stops just with you. It's something that has continued from the parents that have come before you and to through the parents that will come after you. So we have to really put at the forefront educating our children to become parents, not to become doctors, lawyers, to become engineers, to become mayors and principals. Let's educate our families, our children, to be parents, proud parents, parents that are knowledgeable of their self, right? Because knowledge of self is not something that you can acquire through the educational system. Knowledge itself is something that's acquired through experience. It's acquired in knowing who you are, sitting with yourself, loving yourself, being able to dive deep into yourself, addressing those traumas that you may have experienced in your lifetime. Especially when we're talking about being parents, we got to address those traumas that we might have had with our parents and deal with that, because it will continue to carry on. No matter how much you suppress it, you will transfer that trauma if you do not make the time to heal thyself and love thyself.
Yes, sir. So we got Brother Solomon on, and Solomon always comes with the thought provoking questions. So Solomon said, I guess what I'm not hearing is in these types of conversations is, where did this all start? I believe once we Black people understand how we got here, we'll be able to stop this vicious cycle. Some blame slavery, some blame politics, some blame systematic oppression. What is, or rather, was it that got here? What is it, or rather, what was it that got us here?
Thank you, Brother Battles, for the thought provoking question. I'm going to invite us all to just take a moment to breathe. Let's just pause for a moment and breathe. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4, and we're going to breathe out for a count of 8. Breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, closing your eyes if you feel comfortable for 4, 3, 2, 1, and out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue that breath at your own pace. Remember that your breath is yours. It is your superpower. It is the way that you breathe in the world. It is the way that you share yourself with the world when you exhale. It is your conscious ability to control your heart pace, to control your mind, to recall who you are, to recall what you're experiencing. We bring our awareness to our breath because our breath is the key that brings us to the core of who we are. Why we're experiencing these terrible imbalances, this dis-ease, this state of not being in harmony with ourselves and with each other, starts with us, each and every one of us. There's no need to blame anyone or anything. The need that you have is to truly sit with yourself and ask yourself the question, who am I? Who are you? Why am I here? What have I come here to do? What have I come here to be? These types of introspective questions can lead you to the divine voice that is within you, the voice that has always been there, that has been there from generation after generation. It's the voice that has carried our ancestors through all types of situations, to put it nicely. We have been through the worst and the best, but it is that voice of Ma'at, that voice of indomitable spirit, that voice of love for self that continues to carry us through generation after generation, even when we are consciously working against ourselves. It is that inner head or that guiding light that is within each and every one of us, our destiny that we can tap into if we take the time to listen to ourselves, to sit with ourselves, to love ourselves, and to be humble enough to hear the voice of God within you. When we tune into that frequency, we are talking just this week on Sunday about us being out of our divine mind and out of our divine frequency. This is what will tune us back in and cause us to erase some of these issues that we've been dealing with, the out of balance that we've been. This is what balancing being is all about. Balancing being is about knowing that balancing being is a consistent act. It's not balanced being. It's not reaching the heights of heights and then you're done. Everyone has the job of being the custodian of themselves along with the environment that they're in, the rest of the world. You have to put yourself first so that you can recognize how much of yourself is actually in the world that you experience. You are everywhere and everything at all times. You are a part of this earth. You are a part of this world. And we need your light to shine. We need you to wake up. We need you to recognize that you have divinity within you. I'm thankful for those who have taught me to be in tune with myself, to be able to love and see myself in everything else. This is something that comes with releasing the idea that that's not possible. Sit with yourself, love yourself, remember to breathe. Mute. You're on mute, sister.
My apologies.
We're not going to let these technical issues stop us at all. We already know what is at play right here. And we're going to continue to chant love and gratitude into the space. We're going to continue to chant excellence and efficiency into the space. No matter what tries to disorganize us, we're going to stay organized and stay on code as a people. And so we're thankful. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I was saying that Ozzy likes to call it finding your 20, which is 20 minutes of meditation and sitting still.
I'm all with it, brother. Appreciate that.
Yes. So
each and every day, I'd like to interject. The best thing, because I want to make sure any brothers that might see this, fathers that see this, brother, that 20, the best time to find it is going to be at the top of the day, before anybody wakes up, before the rising sun has greeted us. You've got to get up, Baba. You've got to get up and make sure that you make that time for yourself, because once the day gets going, it's gone. So make that time each and every day. Meditate early. Think deeply about yourself and your actions. Project on who you are, what you want to become, and bring it into fruition. Find your 20.
Yes. Well, he does. That's one of the things that he does. Ozzy is he's talked to us extensively about sleep and rest. So he's a huge proponent of meditating and definitely going to bed at a decent time, such that you getting your full 6 to 8 hours of sleep each night, and all of those sort of things. So
yeah, there's a big difference between rest and sleep, and there's a big difference from having 4 hours and having 8 hours. There's a big difference. So you won't be able to get up at the crack of dawn, at least consistently, if you do not make time to go to sleep earlier on.
Yeah. So again, he's a huge proponent of that. So I heard also a little earlier you talked about safe spaces and fathers, the importance of fathers securing or establishing safe spaces. I think that is a huge piece that I don't think I've ever really called anybody speaking on. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Yes, for sure. That's it's one of the most powerful things that we can do as men folk. There's quite a bit of abuse that people experience in this world.
Mhm.
We don't really talk about it, and it's mostly in the closet, but it's happening right now as we're here enjoying this evening and having a conversation with each other. Somebody's experiencing a traumatic moment, but we're going to send out healing vibrations of wellness and security over them. We're going to continue to refine ourselves and our institutions and our programs so that we can be there in and stand in the gap for these children, these men, these women that are experiencing trauma and abuse, because we have a duty to ourselves. We don't make it a comfortable thing, or many times, I'm gonna back up for a moment. Many times, those whom are experiencing trauma and abuse, it happens from those most intimate to them, the closest people to them in their lives. And we don't suspect it or we neglect it when it's being talked about. When the child comes to you and tells you, is just looking up certain things. If a child comes to you and they're looking up quote unquote booties or something on the internet, that's a plea for help. If a child comes to you and tells you that, hey, this person touched me, and then you ask and you respond to them in a erratic manner, or you tell them, oh, you lying, or what have you, and dismiss them, we then set up that cycle. We have really got to protect our children and ensure that they have safe spaces by being responsible adults, being adults who truly listen to children, not just dismiss them. Our children have very powerful voices. Our children are born geniuses. When you're talking about the melanoid child, the indigenous Black child, this child is known scientifically and experientially. We know these children to what the science calls them is precocious, right? They say they're moving at a faster rate than their age, but based off of what scale? When you're dealing with these children, our children, they move at a pace of brilliance and genius efficiency, but we tend to stop that or hurt or dim that light because we subject them to all kinds of traumas and abuses. Trauma and abuse doesn't only come in the form of physical violence or sexual abuse. We're talking about neglect, right? We're talking about the child who never gets to have your full attention because you're in your phone, or you're dedicated to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or you may be a husband or wife. If you're in the TV, if you're constantly not putting yourself in the space of this child, with the space of this child, and creating sacred time with this child where they know you are with them in that moment, it harms them in their confidence to know that somebody loves me, somebody supports me, and this is a person that I can go to for anything. I'm thankful again for the parents, because as I'm speaking, I'm hearing them and I'm feeling them, and I'm remembering the ones who did take the time for me, and I know that that's not the case for every one of our children. So that's why I do the work that I do. I work in the community along with the lifestyle company Balance and Being. We have programs in place for our children. We have in academic enrichment camps, cultural enrichment camps. We have programs where we link with the brothers to really create that spirit of focusing in on being our best self from child to adult. You're on mute. It's all right.
It is. It is. No, thank you. No, again, just those are some things that I think we don't think about, or maybe they aren't addressed kind of head on. But as fathers, again, that whole protection piece, provision piece, safe spaces, and ensuring that the children do feel comfortable coming to you, to tell you, father, about what's going on with them. And so,
you know,
Being a communicator, good communicator. I think somebody said that that was one of the qualities of the, you
Shay.
know,
Yeah,
mhm.
so much safe. Like, it's not just about being physically safe. Are you someone as a man that can offer emotional, physical, spiritual, and overall safety, right? Can you provide your family with a sound mind, right? And a sound spirit, no matter what they bring to you, no matter what's going on? Can you dial it down, no matter if you're completely enraged by what somebody says in your mind? Can you calm that down and be the safe space for this person who's expressing themselves to you, so that they can gain from your wisdom and experience, to be able to be with them in that moment where they feel vulnerable in sharing something with you, so that they can know, no matter what it is, this is a man in my life that is able to hear me, that is able to love me, that is able to not react in a way that causes more pain, more trauma, more confusion, and no solution. We see, we as men, the Babas, we're master problem solvers.
Mm,
We are the ones that understand our duty to be men of the family, to be men of unity, to be men that regenerate themselves, to be men that create safe spaces for our family. No matter who's in our family, we are ready to take on the role of being the man who is here for them.
nice. So, Sister Monica said one of the negative messages from parents is telling their children to fear them. It's hard to trust someone you are taught to be afraid of. This is why some children won't tell.
Big facts. Big facts. And that goes again to dimming the light of our children. We're
Yeah.
not really factoring in that our children are human beings too, right? Just like you're a human being, you just got some more age experience on them, but these are genius human beings that you're communicating with. And when you dim their light by teaching them to be fearful, dim their light by teaching them that their word is not valid or valuable or warranted. If you're wanting to build a family, one of the most important things that you can do is incorporate your family in decision making. Teach your family how to be oriented around the mission of the family. Generate a mission statement, generate a vision for your family, share that with your family, with the children, with all parts and extensions of that family, and have family meetings that allow you all to share your perspective, so that everyone can feel involved in the family. We've gotten away from this.
No, really good point. Actually, I was going to mention that. So great segue, and I'm reflecting on our conversation on Melanin Mothers Meets on Sunday. We did the cultural components of maternal and paternal health, part of the Healing Baba series. And so, one of the things that was mentioned was having a family creed and affirmations and being on code and, having a family mission and vision statement. So, yes, I think, those are the types of conversations that need to be taking place in our families and getting, all everybody involved in it, the mother, the father, the children, everybody involved in this mission, this creed, and carrying that forward.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Shout out to the Baptiste clan that's inside the
Yeah.
space.
Mhm.
Yeah, we give thanks for them.
Really.
And I recognize, yes, have family meetings and have the kids give their opinions. Shout out to Miss Janita. We definitely need that,
Yes.
because it's what will create the confidence in your children. It's
Mhm.
what will create the confidence in your family when you put the family at the forefront of everything that you do, and you validate everybody in the family. There's nothing that can stop you. As a unit, there's nothing that can stop you. We will achieve higher heights as people And when we're talking about our families are the direct reflection of our community. The family makes our community. The community then makes our nation. We as a people are lacking nationhood because we're lacking communityhood and we're lacking familyhood. It all distills back to that. So shout out again to the brother who proposed that question. It starts with yourself, and yourself is again your family, who you are, and how you relate to those whom are closest to you in your circle.
That was powerful. So we lack nationhood because we lack communityhood because we lack familyhood.
Ashe, as above, so below.
Mm, powerful, powerful, powerful. Okay. So anything else any other points that you want to make with regards to becoming Baba? I mean, I have been, putting some notes down here because I am the note taker. So, some of the things that you've stated that have kind of stuck with me are about us having multiple fathers and mothers, and so I don't think we think of it maybe in those terms, but that is exactly what it is. I think Janita mentioned our coaches, our, you know, um, janitors, our uncles, our, all of these,
Ashe, yes.
fathers and men in the community that, are those surrogates. And then also, like we talked about the accountability, the responsibility. You talked about fathers being master problem solvers. Um, yeah, I think men just are problem solvers anyway, or they are at least attempting to. You tell them something and they're trying to fix it. Whatever.
That's a tendency. That's a tendency that we have. Something that I definitely don't want to leave out of the conversation is again reminded for the aspect of, like, we have a lot of blended families, quote unquote, right? We have fathers who may not have been the biological father for a set of children, and vice versa with mothers, or again, as the sister was speaking, the uncles that are that become the father, the brothers that become the father, because we have to fill in that gap from somewhere. I think it's essential that we recognize that our fathers are what we make them. So we've got to really hail up our fathers, especially the men that stand in the gap. Love them. Tonight, I put the charge on all of y'all. Call that man. Call that man that you know has stood in the gap for you. That man that you know has been able to be a shoulder for you to cry on, or a voice of reason. Show him respect. If he don't pick up, call him tomorrow. Get in touch with him and let him know. I make it a point to tell all my fathers, Happy Father's Day every day, because every day is Father's Day. And you deserve to hear that, Father. You deserve to hear that. We're thankful for you. Thank you for being a father. It's one of the greatest jobs that we have. It's one that I'm thankful to be in the position to accept as well as project and be. Being a Baba is something that we should never take lightly, and it's something that we should always respect and know that it's a high honor, right? It's the highest honor right next to our motherhood, right next to our motherhood and fatherhood. We're talking about those whom are the keepers of the family. So please remember that the role of father, the one whom has accepted that role, is one that is not an easy road. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's one that requires great patience, diligence, and fortitude, right? Fortitude, meaning resilience. There's going to be many things in your road, Father. From speaking to my Babas, there's going to be many things that try to knock you down, that try to take you down. You might have did your 20, you might have did your 40 minutes, you might have did your 4 hours of meditation, and then something's going to come along and try to knock you off your square, try to take you out, or project on you not being the great father that is within you. But you cannot listen to that voice. You cannot neglect your greatness by allowing any idea other than your best self to protrude and project from within you. So step into your mode and be in the fold. I'm calling all my men, all my fathers, get in touch with us, because we got a revolution, we got a movement, and fatherhood is the movement.
All right, Ashe. So again, you said quite a bit there, in terms of just the appreciation for fathers on a daily. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I hope that we lift that banner and carry that forward. So at this time, I want to invite everyone who can type in the comments, type in the fathers of your life. We want to recognize them right now. Just type their name in. We'll be virtually speaking their name at
Yeah,
this
shout out to Alex Privat, to Anderson Privat, to Therese Saintville, to Marcel Morales, to uh, Joseph Concepcion Morales, to O'Neill Baptiste, to Godfrey Baptiste. I'm shouting out my whole father line on both sides. We give thanks for these men.
Yeah,
Do that research. I definitely, some of us may not be able to go back too far, but
yeah,
that's okay. It doesn't stop you from being able to give respect to your fathers. If you cannot name your fathers, what you do is say, to all those whom I cannot name, I
yeah,
send my love and respect to you, Father. I
yeah,
thank you for my life.
yeah,
Yes, come on. Bring
yeah.
in the fathers. Rein it in the chat because they
Yeah,
deserve to be held up.
they
Ashe.
do. James Everett, George P.
Ashe.
From. A shout out John Everett.
Yes, we got to
Man,
bring it back into our culture. Let's make it the mode. Love your babas, love your fathers, and really project on them each and every day because
yeah,
we need it. We need that support. The other
yeah,
day, Nicole, I was having a conversation about, it was about how much do we affirm ourselves? How much do we pray over ourselves? How much do we put positivity out over ourselves? Because there's enough negativity out there that's coming in against us. There might be more than what you put out for yourself. And if that's what's in the environment and in the space, it's going to find you and it might overcome you. This is why you must build into your system, into your regular format, an affirmation confirmation, a way to affirm yourself, a way to speak positivity over yourself, to remind yourself that you are greatness, that you are excellence, that you come from a mother and father, no matter if they were present in your life or not. You come from a people who survived and endured life enough to give you and share with you life. You are God's gift. Do not forsake your life because you have any beef with the people that are in your family. Do not forsake your life because you don't feel confident in yourself. You are divine as a being, and you have the opportunity to be a mother and a father, whether you directly parent a child or not. You are a divine mother and father, should you accept that role.
Amen. Ashe, yes. So
Yeah.
you said affirmation confirmation. I love that. I love that. I love that. No, that's
Ashe.
hmm.
Yeah, shout out to all the godfathers. I'm a godfather to more than a few, and I love that role. I love that role, just being a baba. We really got to take joy in it. That balancing being, our programs, we are developing fatherhood programs to teach our youth again from their nascence, to accept fatherhood as an attractive choice. We got to really promote it once again and say, and make young boys say, I want to be a daddy. I want to be a father. I want to be a baba.
Yes, 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 yes. No, I love the enthusiasm, the excitement, as you talk about training our boys to be uh, to have that expectation and to positively look forward to, being a father. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Um,
Sweet.
So yeah, this has been a great discussion. Again, anything else you wish to share in closing before you tell folks um, how they can connect with you?
In the journey of becoming a Baba, it starts with yourself. And as you choose for yourself to become more intimate with yourself, to learn yourself, to not be afraid of yourself, to not be afraid of your power, be consistent. Consistency requires discipline. As you exercise your discipline to exercise your consistency each and every day, to be tuned into yourself, the others that do the same thing will come around. You will become the great magnet that you are, because we are a reflection of the earth. And so you will start to magnetize that energy that you cultivate. If you want to become a Baba, put your mind, body, and spirit into it. Become that magnetic being of Babahood. And the Babas will come around. The mamas will come around. They will be attracted to you. And you will find those groups of people. The divine will set and arrange for you the way so that you can be in tune and in stride with what your life's objective and mission is. If you choose Babahood, the Babas will be with you, and you will find brothers. I always say that men who want to be men should be with other men. Being with men that hold you accountable, that won't let you lie, that won't let you disrespect yourself or your family. Being around these men will cultivate you in your greatest spirit, and it will lead you to your divine righteousness and your divine mind, the more that you channel that energy. So, to the men that are becoming a Baba, choose it wholeheartedly. Do not doubt yourself. Doubt and fear will be your greatest enemy. Have no fear and cultivate your greatest form as a Baba. Ashe.
Okay, all right. So doubt yourself, um, and have self respect. And I think what you also have said here, as it relates to it's similar to that scripture that talks about if you want friends, then um, be friendly, right? So if you want to be a father, then you need to exhibit that behavior and then surround yourself with um, men who also have taken on that responsibility.
Yebo.
Mhm.
They will come around. They
Yeah.
will come around. So really step into your form. This goes for fatherhood is a reflection of the universe.
Mhm.
It's a part of the life experience, and it's never separate from motherhood. I want to make sure we make that distinction, because you beget fathers through mothers. It is through our experience of the divine union between man and woman that has become an experience of parenting, right? Uh, and it gifts abundantly, because now you have those whom were not a part of that direct experience in union, whom are also able to accept the role of fatherhood and motherhood. It can birth mothers and fathers
Mhm.
exponentially. Okay. So please be honorable to yourself, love thyself, and nurture your family by choosing to be exemplary.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, this has been a great conversation. Hopefully, the viewers have benefited from this, and we have paid homage to our babas and fathers in our lives, and we've gotten some really great takeaways, I think, from this conversation. So I pray that we do keep this conversation going, and that for those of you who, any Babas that are on the line, just continue being Baba, continue choosing fatherhood, and, you know, prayerfully, others will follow your example.
Yes, please do. And anybody who wants to get in contact with me, my contact information is on the screen. The Cash App information is there as well. We do put energy and efforts into, again, cultivating the men that we need in our community. So stay tuned, because Balance and Being, we are projecting on North Florida's first clinic that will really revolutionize how we do our healthcare, how we truly take care of our mothers, fathers, and children. And so we've got some great things in store. Balance and Being, the lifestyle company, as you said, doing auricular acupuncture, apparel, and more. We are a wonderful company that we look forward to projecting with you all, and including you all in the fold of what we have coming, because you are a reflection and you are Balance and Being.
All right, very good. Well, thank you again so much, Dr. B, for your time, for your energy, for your knowledge, your expertise, and just wishing you all the best. Sending, you know, love and light, and much success to all that you are doing for the babas, for the mamas, and for the children, for the family. So
Sure.
definitely keep us posted on what you have coming up in the future. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from you soon. I do give a final shout out to those of you who may not subscribe to Conversations with Nicole. I definitely want to invite you to do so on YouTube, as well as you can add Greater Works Network on Roku. And once you add us, we'll be there.
Thank you.
This
Thank you all.
episode,
Oh, love and respect to the family. Thank you all to those whom shared time with us during this hour, and those whom will share time with us in future. We speak out and send our love, our respect, and our gratitude. We're here for you as your brother, as a Baba. We will never lay down that torch, and we'll continue to carry it forward. Let's continue to move our family forward in the best and the brightest light, because we are the brightest light, God's light.
all right, all right, very good. Well, thank you all. Have a great holiday weekend. Y'all be safe out there, and we will see y'all next time on Conversations with Nicole. All right, peace.